I'm going to join the club of people forcing graph paper on you. It's a technology conference, and I wanted to do all kind of soft and body stuff again, but after some remarks of yesterday and just checking the recent talks, because I'm actually sitting here working behind the scenes, I thought I'd show you people some lovely diagrams. So the hardest exercise you can actually do are usually the simplest ones, because it is really hard to just sit still, as I can see around me here, and it is, they also work the best. And instead of exercises from dance training that I originally had planned, looking around me, we need more stuff we can do in chairs. So today, round 2 of chairs. The first thing you can do with your chair is make sure it's the right height. I cannot demonstrate it here because usually you invite a specialized company or have somebody from HR do that for you. But make sure if you sit in your chair, back problems and other things notwithstanding, you're comfortable. And once you sit down, there's a few things you can do without getting up. Sometimes you just don't have any time to get up because the Zoom meeting is 2 hours. So what are you going to do? Well, turn off your camera for a couple of minutes or have colleagues that don't care, because you can actually do a lot of stuff while just listening to the meeting. Preferably if you have Bluetooth headphones, and you can at least move around a little bit more. One of the best things that I do, and that works really well, is just stretch out an arm, which I think most of you can still do, and then slightly rotate it and just feel what happens. If nothing happens, you can change the position a little bit. What is supposed to happen and what happens anatomically on the inside is that if you rotate your arms slightly backward, these tendons and muscles will tense up. And it's something you can slowly even, I would say, train, but you can definitely soften it. And it's just really nice. You're sitting in front of your Zoom meeting, and it's really interesting, and we're discussing another planning and refinement, and you can just stretch out your arms, but instead of just doing the regular, oh, I need another coffee stretch, take it slow, take breaths. Oh, my left side is much stiffer than my right side. And that's because of the desk here in the audio video studio. And just feel, and it's pretty much different than yesterday. And that's where this lovely piece of graph paper comes in. Because most people think exercises are hard or easy, and if you go to the gym, it's really hard because the weights are really heavy. And if at home you just do like 5 push-ups, it's really easy, or 5 stretches. But I think most of you have seen this graph at some, well, discover your own way of working conference or workshop, that hard and easy and simple and complex are not the same discussion at all. Having said that, just take it easy. Work with very simple exercises that look very simple, but do them on the regular. If you do this every day, you'll learn the rhythms of your body. You'll notice that it tenses up when your project deadline approaches. It's very simple. Just this. Do not overstretch, just feel it. If you want to get out of your comfort zone a little bit, give it a bit of an extra stretch. Another simple one. Take your arm, either left or right, hook it behind your other arm, and just give it a very light stretch. For me, this is very light. This is very, very simple. I know that people with frozen shoulders, this might actually hurt really bad. Do not do that. Just see how far you get it. If this works for you, this works for you. That's fine. If you really want to do a long stretch and hold it a few breaths, it's a nice one. If you do the stretch, make sure this also relaxes. And if that's not possible, it's not possible. Just play around with it. And the other aspect that I really like about it, just feel the difference between left and right. This, like I did this wrong, but it was also, oh, that's interesting. Just go with the flow. This feels interesting. But just take the other side, and I noticed that my shoulder, it's gotten kind of stiff because I'm sitting here with my laptop, no external display, and I forgot my Wacom tablet. It's just one stressful day of working like that, and ouch. So as you notice, I hold this a bit longer. I cannot really breathe deeply while talking, but that's going to take some work tomorrow. Yeah, it's another one. You can also just stretch it back, of course. Put it behind your back. Good old. Not everybody can do that. Of course, you can. There are lots of higher positions too, but this is not your yoga class. And as the last one, I don't know what the time is, but the last, it's very easy. Sit upright, breathe until it relaxes a little bit, or even if you're tense, just put your head forward, rest your hands, interlock your fingers, rest them on the back of your head, sit up straight and just let gravity do the rest. And what makes this exercise really easy, or really simple, there I go, but really hard, is try and do this without using any muscle power whatsoever. Do not pull your arms. Do not bend your neck forwards. Just do nothing and, well, maybe it falls to the left because my right side here is a bit stiff apparently. It's fine, just let it hang, apply some weight. And you now officially know a healthy variant of the head desk. That's really useful. You can just, or your developer colleagues will think like you're just doing a nice mimi rage, but you're doing an actually very healthy exercise. And of course, there's lots of variants. I see a lot of colleagues in the office to the left and the right lean. That's really good. I mean, it's a favorite for a reason. The variant of this looks exactly the same, but you hold it for a few breaths. And you notice that, I notice that this side feels completely different from this side. And I cannot see who is actually watching this stream. I don't know a lot of you, so I've not seen you sitting in office chairs, but all these simple tricks, I see more and more people doing them on Zoom. I think that's great, and I think it should also be totally normalized. After 15 minutes, even just leave the cameras on and say, you know, I'll just look at your living room for a while, go grab a cup of coffee, and actually see people stretch. It's not normal if you just see talking heads for 1.5 hours just looking straight into the camera, because nobody's looking straight into the camera, they're looking to the right where Reddit is. And or the WhatsApp to the left, or any other chat box that is drawing your attention. So just give yourself some time to breathe, to refocus on the meeting, and just sit and try to relax. Try to. Thank you very much for joining the conference. I think this was also the last talk. Afterwards, the hackathon starts, where you can put all the things you've learned to very good use. We'll see you there. There was a bunch of open source contributors there, including me, because that's next to ingewikkeld my real job. And yeah, I think it worked out really well. And I'm also really curious if you have any feedback regarding these like interludes.
Well, there is feedback already, or actually a question.
Oh.
There's a question in our Discord. Any tips on neck pains because of wearing your headphones all day long?
If you have neck pains because of your headphones, I assume the headphones actually squeeze here. I have two sets of headphones at home. I have the more modern Boses, which have like really light ear pressure. And I have an older set that actually squeezes over my ears and then presses on the back of my neck. Is that the question?
He says, I have the Sony W3 noise cancelling ones.
Yeah, that's a pretty heavy one, and it actually holds you really tight. The Neo 4 was actually reviewed to actually squeeze you less. But that's a very expensive upgrade. What you can do, yeah, I recognize this, but what happens with headphones and what I see in the office is when people have their headphones on, they kind of get into a tunnel towards their laptop and the whole world disappears, including hunger and I feel hot and cold. So it might be more related to that it's not the headphones, but that you kind of shrink. You just, look what happened. Everything shrinks, you close up, everything tenses up. I hope it's that. If it's the headphones themselves, get a brand that you can adjust better. But those are unfortunately much more expensive than your default Bluetooth headphones.